5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny.
It's Mark
I'm excited
Cerny.
to be here to talk about the
He
newest
does kind of
addition
look
to our console
rendered,
lineup,
honestly
PlayStation
speaking.
5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology.
PS5
but first, I
Pro.
want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers
Have you seen
an
this already?
exceptional gaming experience. When PS5
It does feel
debuted
weird
in
without having the
2020,
HD look to it.
it brought a lot to the table.
Yes,
8 Zen
it
2
brought
CPU
balls.
cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second.
We do like 120 frames per
PS5
second, right?
has a powerful
Right?
RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global
I don't like that
illumination.
it's this bitrate.
Custom
oh well.
SSD can load data at
We just have to make
breathtaking
sure.
speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion
Even
to
so,
the sound of the game.
these are like basically their launch lineup games.
With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the
talented enough.
DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game.
So HD Rumble.
It's
I
wonderful
want
to
to say
see
HD
such
Rumble, but
variety
they
and
kind of did
richness
it
of
first.
game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second.
It does look
and
like
that
a
leads to
render.
an
It doesn't
aspect of
look.
modern gaming that we're
It feels
all familiar
photorealistic.
with,
Am I the only one who thinks
graphics
that?
modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less
Oh,
responsive.
it's only me. Okay.
Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics
Maybe this guy's
that
just like
creators
recording in
aspire to,
8K camera,
the high frame rates
but
that
it definitely
players
just
typically
feels
prefer.
weird.
To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3.
The big three:
First, we made the
Bleach,
GPU
One
much larger
Piece,
and increased
and
the speed of the memory.
what was
it uses.
Naruto?
The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library.
It does sound like
called
I'm listening to a
PlayStation
Halo
Spectral
soundtrack right now.
Superresolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big 3 involved, the results
Big
can be pretty
Three!
amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
Now, I would appreciate this if I wasn't
Let's
watching
compare
this
this to the
in
fidelity mode on
480p.
PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Don't stop. We gotta lose.
This goal of delivering almost
Looks the same.
fidelity-like
A remaster of a
graphics
PS4
at performance
game
frame
enhanced for
rate
PS5
has been
Pro.
achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2
Might have to rewatch this.
and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5. Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5.
Why does
both
it
of which
feel like the
target
audio
60
is slightly
frames per
out?
second.
That's my problem. It just feels like
What we
it's like
see here
half a
is
second
difference in
behind or
detail.
something.
PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
It looks yeah, I can see where
For this,
there's
my
more
favorite
texture.
is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars. So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
We want to see more
Ray tracing
pores.
is finding broad usage as
More
well,
pores.
particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference.
I think this is the first time where he
Allowing
actually looks
Gran
slightly
Turismo
wrong.
7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows.
They
I
finally
hope you
got a
enjoyed
better
this
cast for
run-through of
shadows.
The technology
They
behind
got a better
PlayStation
casting
5
director.
Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
Horizon Zero. Okay. Don't let me hang. Of course, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh, but they're gonna put that scene in there. You're never gonna see Cloud.
Close your eyes.
My
It'll be
favorite A tier character. You're right.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
Even if it wasn't, it was still a stupid decision not to show Cloud. That was the final boss? No, it's not. No, it's not B. It's not the final boss. And Hogwarts Legacy. It's just weird that they didn't pick a scene with Cloud in it. Because if you don't know anything about Zack, then you don't know anything about Zack. Is that Celebrate? No, it's not Celebrate. I'm surprised 16 wasn't put here. That's Dragon's Dogma. That's Control. There's Cloud, finally. There's GT. And it's coming out this year, which is surprising, honestly. £699. £700. So I was looking at this and I didn't quite understand what the hell I was looking at until somebody else showed me. Okay, so let's see if we can go watch it in 4K again. Can we go back to these scenes and see if it's worth... Let me see if I'm going crazy. Probably am. Okay, so first things first. Let's go here. So I was looking at this. This is the cheapest price rate. If you bought it from America and you transferred that rate here, that would be like £579. It's £100 more. Vertical stand is sold why is the vertical stand sold separately? We're being overcharged by over $200. Yeah. It's not. Euros is especially getting shafted on that, honestly speaking. Give me a second. I need to take a phone call. Ew, get that price out. Get that out of my face. Okay, I was kind of spoiled on this. Includes tax. I don't. I'm not sure how to feel. Let me check the graphics mode for a second. Like, the problem is I'm not going to get it. This is just period. I'm not getting the PS5 Pro. It's not for me. But at the same time, like, I've got the original PS5, and I'm fine with that. That does exactly what I need it to do.
Achieved.
I'll buy it for you. Oh, I would appreciate that, except for I probably won't. Also random, but there's like a 6-minute Izuku thing posted by the official Sonic you might want to check out. I did see somebody else...
Reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved.
I don't know, but I like...
When asked to decide on a mode,
If you buy me
players
one,
are
I'll
choosing
buy you- oh, you
performance
meant
about
that.
3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is
See,
one of
that
the key
feels better
targets
now. It's because it was filmed in 4K, but if you watch it in a lower resolution, the audio is out of
for
place.
PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially
That sounds like
improves
a sweet
over
deal.
PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we
Sure.
call the big 3.
Sure.
First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of
A
the
bigger
memory it
GPU is always
uses.
good,
The result is
but I don't
rendering
think it's
that's
a
up to
bigger graphics card.
45% faster. Second,
It's not an updated graphics
made
card. 'cause it
major
doesn't do what
upgrades to
it
the ray
is
tracing,
capable of.
taking
it
a
just means
streamlined
that it's
and
going to be rendering the same amount. Like, it's going to still... The maximum render is still going to be the same amount, as far as my understanding. The bigger GPU is good. It's just
of
calculations, isn't it?
PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can
Is this
add
going to be a
an
patch thing?
extraordinary amount of detail, which
Oh,
boosts
only
the effective
PS5 Pro can run
resolution
Sonic Frontiers with that awful pop-in.
of
You
the
know
games.
what? Fair.
Game creators are adding PS5
Bet, let's do it. Well,
support
but since it
new
looks like
and
Faz
existing
ain't going to
titles.
accept it,
And
might
with
as well
the
give
big
it to
3
me.
involved, the results can be pretty amazing. With
Wow.
graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's
Games
the
will patch support as well.
Last
So
of Us
this is
Part
this is basically their version of the 4K support with all the games.
running on PS5 Pro.
Okay, so all of the information's already come out on this. Do we have insane, insane? Hang on, I'm just reading the chat, the comments. $700 with no
Let's compare
vertical
this to
stand.
the fidelity.
Okay, so let's pause this for a moment. Fidelity on the PS5 Pro. We are on 4K. We are as high as we can get with this. And this video can't render it. This video can't render it. There are... Why am I seeing, like, details on this side that I'm not seeing on this side? Meant to be more wrinkles. There's less wrinkles here, so there's more wrinkles here. Yeah, that's fine. Is there things we could see here? The butt of the gun is this. Like I said, this is more of a video problem than it is a thing problem right now, but damn.
Fidelity mode on PS.
Okay. The hair slightly different, I guess.
5, which is only running at 30 frames.
Hang on. Who is playing for the extra detailed wrinkles? Probably Faz. It looks the same. Don't lie to us, Faz. There are some differences. Oh, okay. Now we actually can see some of the differences. Like, what are we expecting here? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It is slightly on the hair. He's looking away to stall. I had a phone call, man.
Per second, and is therefore much.
You know what it feels like? It feels like when PS4 had the remastered version of Last of Us 1. And it was like, it's really pretty graphics. It looks like a really clean version of the graphics, but the texture is not made for it, for that to go that high. That's what it feels like.
Choppier.
Don't stop! We gotta lose.
Oh, it's meant to be about the choppiness
Goal
of
of
it. They're both
delivering
the same in
almost
terms of detail,
fidelity-like
but the Pro
graphics
version
and
is 16
performance frame
FPS.
rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2,
Ah, okay. Okay, now I can see the difference. I don't know.
titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Ratchet and Clank.
Why does it feel like it's doing it on purpose?
Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
It's kind of ironic that Pro will will use base PS5 fidelity mode, but bump it up to 60 FPS essentially. Do we have like a blog post for this? PS5 Pro blog. Okay, we do have a PS5 blog. Okay. So far, I'm not seeing what people are wanting to see type situation. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Most visually impressive way to play the game PS5. Features including GPU upgrade, advanced ray tracing, and PlayStation's spectral super resolution, taking players to new heights. They really like this thing. Over the last 4 years, since the launch of PS, we've been working hard to continuously evolve the console experience and deliver the great games our players expect from us. Today, I'm incredibly proud to announce that the next step, that evolution, and welcome the PS5 Pro to the PlayStation family, our most advanced, innovative console hardware to date. Play. Is this this thing? The next leap, it jumped off the cut at the base. And it took a Netflix logo. Features. Okay, wait. What? Why? Why did you do? Oh, for God's sakes! Go away. Yeah. So far, I'm not happy about that. Okay, let's go back to 720p. This kind of reminds me of like the OLED thing, where it's a great screen, but you can't see it until you see it type situation. High frame rates. Features only on... Advanced ray tracing, so a lot of reflections. Oh my god, it's the tripod. Witness Play Unleashed. I was wondering why the hell Sonic Unleashed was trending. Vertical stand sold separately. How many are you buying? At this moment in time, 0. Okay, so let's try and talk about the positives at the moment. At the moment, a lot of the positives are like technical stuff, but not hardware-based stuff. Still don't. I've not even heard like a bigger hard drive. Now, Amadeus, don't make promises you can't keep. We've developed PS5 with a deeply engaged game creators in mind, as many have asked for the console that runs even higher fidelity graphics with smoother frame rates at 68 FPS. We have achieved this on the PS5 Pro with several key performances. Here's the list of policies. It's empty. Oh god. Upgraded GPU with PS5 Pro. We're upgrading the GPU that's 67% more compute units than the current console and 20% faster memory. Overall, this enables up to 45% rendering time for gameplay, making the experience much smoother. So far, we're just saying smoother gameplay. Okay, so that's one. Advanced ray tracing. We've added even more powerful ray tracing that provides more dynamic reflections and refractions of light. This allows the rays to be cast at double and at times triple the speeds of the current PS5 console. In other words, it's just able to calculate it faster. But the graphics are not bigger or major. It's getting to that endpoint faster. That's my understanding of this. AI-driven upscaling. We're introducing PSSR, an AI-driven upscaling that uses a machine learning-based technology to provide super sharp image clarity by adding an extraordinary amount of detail. It really just fills in the gaps, as far as the way they've explained it. PS5 Pro's game provides gamers with amazing graphics at a high frame rate. You can hear Mark Cerny, lead architect for the PS5 Pro, discuss the key innovations from PS5 Pro in the following video presentation. This presentation provides a deep dive into the key features that the PS5 Pro truly special. That's the word that I'm missing at the end. Also, hi Mongoose, how are you doing today? Happy Thursday. Other enhancements include the PS5 Pro Game Boost, which can apply to more than 8,500 backwards compatibility PS4 playable titles on PS5 Pro. So Game Boost is basically the same thing that Xbox has had for the Series S and X. This is their version of it, but the only different... No, yeah, it includes Xbox One titles. So yes, this is current generation including. And Xbox One Pro, or at least whatever version that is called, I've forgotten where it is, the 1 terabyte one. Sonic Force is boosted by his PS5 Pro. Yes, clearly. This feature may stabilize or improve the performance. I feel like this is... let's just finish the point and then I'll express. I'm having thoughts. Is any of this even real? You know? Kingdom Hearts 3 would probably benefit from it, honestly. Good. But yeah, what was I saying? Something to see how game creators have embraced the latest technology for the PS5 Pro, and several games will be patched with free software updates for games to take advantage of the PS5 Pro's features. These games can be identified with the PS5 Pro... Oh wait, no, I forgot, I missed a bit. Enhanced image quality for PS4 games is also available to improve the resolution on select PS4 titles. PS5 Pro will also launch with the latest wireless technology, Wi-Fi 7, in territories supporting this standard. VRR and 8K gaming are also supported. So 8K gaming, I don't know what VRR is. We haven't got an explanation of this. And Wi-Fi 7, I'm not sure what Wi-Fi 7 is. I don't think Wi-Fi 6. What number are we on for the standardized for most modems? Jeez. It's something blah blah blah. These games can be invited by the PS5 Pro. VRR is very good. What is it? Oh, is it very, really, really good? Is that what it means? These games can be identified with the PS5 Pro enhanced label within their title. Some games you can look forward to include blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studios and our third-party partners, such as Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Demon's Souls, Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Gran Turismo, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, The Crew Motorfest. I'm surprised Gran Turismo 7 wasn't there. Yeah, Crew Motorfest, The First Descendants, and The Last of Us Part 2. Variable refresh rates gets rid of the screen tearing when the VSync is off. Okay. Jazakallah, thank you very much, Ibs. Also, Assalamu alaikum. I see. Put it better than I could, Ibs. These games can be identified. I'm happy that some of these games are on there, I guess, but I'm not going to be playing The First Descendants. I was happy with how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looked already, so I don't need to worry about that one all that much. Alan Wake 2 was a really good looking game. Assassin's Creed 2 Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows, we'll have to wait and see on that one because that's not out yet. We kept a look of the PS5 Pro. Wait, what about the Wi-Fi thing? Do you know anything else? It's my joy to notice whether I want to or not. Do you know anything about the Wi-Fi thing? It's just this Wi-Fi is. It's got Wi-Fi 7. I'm not sure what number we're on because Wi-Fi is next gen Wi-Fi. Okay, super fast. Okay, I don't know any. I'll just say is I don't know anything about the Wi-Fi models. We've been stuck on like 4G, 5G, and 6G for so long that I should know. I should know. Well, I feel like I should know this stuff, but that information has never been widely available. Truly doing the best work. Arguably the same as using Ethernet. All right, cool. We kept a look at the PS5 Pro's look of the PS5 Pro consistent with the overall PS5 family of products. You'll notice the height is the same size as the original PS5 and the width. So we're talking about the original PS5 and the one that came out in 2020, right? Yeah, Wi-Fi 7 is extremely fast. Okay. You'll notice that height is the same as the original PS5 and width is the same as current PS5 models to accommodate high performance specs. Players can add an Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive or swap out console covers when they become available. Okay, vertical stand sold separately. That's with the vertical stand. That's with the vertical stand. That's taking it off. So it's a digital only one. I kind of saw this from the images online, but it's a digital only one. Is this the same? Is this the same? I'm wondering if this is the same as the current drive that you can buy separately. So you know how it is for the Slim. I don't know. So what I'm trying to figure out is when it says the original size of the PS5, is it mean by the original PS5, the original one that came out in 2020? Or you're saying it's same as the Slims? Okay. I don't. Do we have a comparative? Is there a comparative to the two? No, it doesn't have a comparative to do. So if this works with that, then at least it's already out on the market. That at least makes it easier. You don't have to buy a specific version for it. Let's give him that. PS5 Pro picks perfectly with the PS5 Pro products and compatible with the PS5 accessories currently available. Oh, that's good. Watch these drives sell out now. They're barely getting sold. Well, okay, let me be more specific. In my store, there has been one. We've only had two in the time since it's been sold in that time. They barely people know that you can buy them. When they buy it digitally, they just stick to digital unless they thing. At least that's from my experience. PS5 Pro perfectly fits with the thing, including PSVR 2, Portal, DualSense Edge, Access controls, plus Elite, plus Pulse Explore. The user interface and network services will also remain as the same as PS5. I think everyone that has those games on disc. No, they will. I'm coming up to your game to buy 3.5 hours. Alright, safe. Alright, safe. Just make sure that I'm around. That's all it is. I can then say I did it. The PS5 Pro console will be available this holiday at manufacturer's suggested price (MSRP) of $699, at least £699, GBP 799 euros, includes tax 119,998. It will include a 2 terabyte SSD. At least that's an improvement. I wish that was in the original list. A DualSense controller and a copy of Astro's Playroom pre-installed in every PS5 Pro purchase. Isn't Astro's Playroom already in that? Have I got that wrong? I'm pretty sure Astro's Playroom is in every PS5 regardless. PS5 Pro is available as a discless console. Hi Rayo, how's it going, man? Happy Faz Day. As a discless with the option to purchase the currently available disc drive for PS5. There it is. Already, yeah. Install Concord. Maybe more people will play it. Jeez. PS5 Pro will launch on November 7th, 2024 and will be available at participating retailers and directly from PlayStation at the direct PlayStation.com. Pre-orders will begin at December 26, 2024. Our journey would not be possible without the millions of players that have supported us through the years and have shared their love of gaming. Which ever console option players choose, whether it's a PS5 or Pro, we wish to bring everyone the very best of gaming experience. It fits in. Man, misgendered. Cancel cronies. Eliminate. Sorry, Rayo. Might be. How are you doing? I'm just saying it. Jeez. How are you doing today, Rayo? I hope you're doing well. We're supposed to be playing All Stars, aren't we? Is that everything? Is there anything else we need to know before we start making opinions on this? Because at this moment in time, I want to check how much the PS4 Pro came out when that first came out. Launch price. What was that one when it first came out? It was only £100 more with the PS5 4 and Pro. And I feel like was there a bigger thing? Doing good. Episode Aegis just came out, and I'm right at the end of the original game. Oh, nice. Well done. So, what's everyone's thoughts on this? Honestly speaking, I'm honestly speaking a little bit confused as to how to feel about it. It's a digital console that comes out and you're paying 700 quid for it. And then that means it's another 80 quid if you want to buy the CD drive, which is a bit insane, honestly speaking. I'm so tempted to buy the Persona 3 DLC. You probably should. It's for enthusiasts only. Faz, pressure me to buy it. I think you should get it, Amadeus. You'll like it, I feel. Yeah, it's definitely an enthusiasts only. It doesn't fit it doesn't fit what I want from a PS5 Pro, but obviously it's not for me, and I get that it's not for me. But if we're going from a practical standpoint, the CD drive is a big flag at the very least, because the 2 terabyte is actually really good. The 2 terabyte hard drive is actually a really good thing. The Wi-Fi update is actually a really good thing. Going up to 8K is actually a really good thing. What was it called? The variable. Let me go double check that again. Just about VRR. Variable refresh rate gets rid of the screen tearing when VSync is off. That's supposed to be really good things for people who really want a state of the art PlayStation title. But the way I've looked at the PS5, PS4, and the Pro is that, can my current console do this? It's just like the PS5 VR. So I'll sell out. I'll sell out because they won't make as many to then create 4 more. Oh yeah. So like, I'm trying to look this as more like pros versus cons, and at the moment, the Wi-Fi is the big one. The 2 terabyte is a big one, but I'm trying to think is if every game gets the update patch, that's gonna go out very, very quickly. So maybe 2 terabyte is too small. Maybe 4 terabyte should have been a starting point for something like this. Especially since it's a digital only console. And it's going to have because it also depends on the type of game you're going to be playing too. Like, for example, if it's a game where you put the disc in, it downloads from the internet, and it's not on disc, then that memory is going to go quite fast. So that's one. 8K gaming, you need to have a PC you need to have a TV that already has it. Fine, okay. I still feel like we're still early days on 8K. I still think we need to perfect 4K before we get to that point. If we can consistently get 4K across the board, but right now I'm not finding much of a reason for that one. Wi-Fi and VRR is fine. 2 terabyte is, I guess, but the disk drive is the big one. The disk drive should already be in there. You could already upgrade the storage. But for a price point at £700, not including the digital, I would have assumed there would have been a bigger storage unit to consider, because the selling point here is, we're happy that so many developers are wanting more power, so wouldn't you want the storage that will let you do that too? That's kind of how I'm looking at it, and I feel like something a little bit bigger would be better. As an enthusiast points, the core fans will pay whatever, and Sony knows this. You'd pay $1,000 for a Switch too fast, don't they? I probably wouldn't get a Switch. I probably wouldn't get a Switch at this point. £500 was a huge price point for me on the PS5, so it's not someone for me, and I know it's not for me. But if we're going from a demonstration standpoint, I get it. I do. It's for hyper enthusiasts. I'm just trying to figure out who would upgrade from the PS5 to the PS5 Pro. If the PS5 can do what it already can do. Fast laughs until the Switch 2 exclusive Sonic game comes out and then he drops 1K. Highly doubt it. If only I could have that ability, Amadeus. If only I could have an ability like that. Do it for Jonker Persona 5. Yes. In that case, do it. I've already played the original. But yeah, I'm kind of the mindset of, I'm looking at it as like, why would somebody upgrade from a PS5 to a PS5 Pro? And I don't feel, at the moment, it's just because there's other things in play that wouldn't, I wouldn't say wouldn't justify it, but it's more like it's a hard sell. Let's put it that way. Instead of saying it as if it justifies or doesn't justify it, it's a hard sell. So it's the idea of why would I get if I've got a PS5, would I get a PS5 Pro? It's if I already have a TV that goes up to 8K. I am playing a lot of online games, and I'm someone who does care about the graphics quite severely, you know. But at that point, why wouldn't you get a PC? That would always be a question that will come up. Or what would stop you from I guess that's just the question, is like, why would you go up to a PS5 Pro but not just get a PC? Does that make more sense? And I think that's where things get a little bit murky, because some of these games are coming to PC, especially with people who want to, like, especially with the PlayStation Studios titles. If they are coming to PC at some point down the line, some people are just going to be happy to just build their own PC and be happy to wait. I've always gone with consoles being more of a practical platform. That's the reason why it's why I really appreciate what the PlayStation 5 brings to the table, and what the Xbox One Series S brings to the table, and the Switch, because all of these things are meant to be a slice of that high performance grade, so that you can enjoy with a lot of people. So again, it's not for me. But if I was selling it, and I'm going from a standpoint of saying, how would I tell people about the PS5 Pro? Well, do you have an 8K TV? Do you have decent internet? Like, here's a question. Rather than saying if Wi-Fi 7 is faster, does Wi-Fi 7 improve on the connections that are already there? So, for example, let's say you don't have a great internet connection at home. You can't polish a turd that heavy, right? But let's say you can polish as much as you can. How much would it improve the internet in a house if Wi-Fi 7 is there? It should improve a lot, right? You don't need Wi-Fi 7 router 2. You need a Wi-Fi 7 router 2. Okay, so there's a bit of a thing. Let's say, for example, I had a Wi-Fi 6 router going to a Wi-Fi 7. Would it improve that specific connection? Would it strengthen that specific connection? Would it be able to do, to put it in a more lame term for me, is it that version's equivalent of a rollback, effectively? It fixes it complements what connections are already there. And it depends how big the home is, because it has less interference compared to 6 or 5. Okay, so it does improve. Basically, speed and integrity is solid. Okay, cool. So there's a good selling point for someone who is going from a PS5 to PS5 Pro. They'll have a more stable connection, therefore a better experience online. That's a good selling point. That makes things easier. Think of it as a generation leap. Yes. People really think getting a steady 4K enabled system is going to magically make their 1080p monitor look better. That is true, but it will make it more smoother. I'll give them this. Like, it is true, but it will make it more smoother, which is actually a better thing. A smooth experience is always going to be better. Susie Sphere Hunter made a really good point. All this extra fidelity, how much will you notice when the game moves so fast? That is true. That's a fair point. If I'm going by Rebirth, because I think that is technically the highest fidelity game I've played. I don't know if 16 outdoes it, but I think that is. But I don't know if 16 has more particle effects going, you know. But if I'm going by Rebirth was pretty high fidelity, and I enjoyed what I'd seen so far. I didn't need it to be more than that, and I was playing on a 10 degrees. No one should really pre-order based on a sizzle reel. Wait for it to come out and let games speak for themselves. It's too much to drop on a whim. That is true, and we still only got on the first part of it as well, so we're probably going to get another... We'll see more about... Isn't Tokyo Game Show happening around the same time? So maybe we're going to see more stuff coming from it. People complain about 7 Rebirth resolution in performance mode, but when you're running and in combat exploring, it looks phenomenal. Yeah... I've not seen the performance issue on my side. At least maybe I didn't care enough for it, but everything I saw, and I was spending a lot of time in photo mode, so I'd probably be one of those people who at least look at the details a little bit. I enjoyed what I saw. I liked what I had seen. My playtime, half of it is at least on the photo mode, you know? So I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be... Like, it might be great for fighting games. Maybe a fighting game enthusiast might really like having a a high-end PS5 Pro, because a lot of the issues that a fighting game may occur on when it comes to particle effects, slowdowns, all of the, at least if we're going using Tekken as our main example here, could improve on that. On all that would complement a high amount of the experiences that you would expect in a PS5 title. But then 700 quid. that's the point, is like, is it reaching that 700 quid level? That's the thing. It seems likely that Sony are really just giving us what they told us the PS5 was already going to have. They went from 120 FPS to only if you make the game look worse, and said it was 8K enabled, and ended up having to remove it from the PS5 boxes, because that was also a lie. It also kind of comes back to that price point for me. Yeah. So if we go by, we're selling it, if it's someone new who's getting it, and they're an enthusiast, like they haven't bought a PS5 yet, the PS5 Pro seems to be a good place to start. But that 700 quid you can use towards something else, whether it's if we're saying, okay, let's say that this is let's make sure we make this, we fair out the arguments, so I'm not going like 500 points at the same time. If we're saying a person's coming in to buy a PS5 or a PS5 Pro, and they're an enthusiast, they are specifically enthusiasts, they want the best of the best type situation. But they don't want to buy a PC. They want to keep PC as a completely separate thing. It will be I don't think the jump's high enough for certain aspects, because I have to ask them questions about TV, like you said, Wi-Fi, storage, and how many times they will play it, because they still have to use it. 700 quid is a very huge, a very huge number to drop for a console that would require usage. And if it's games like if it's like a one-time game where it will kind of pay itself over the time period it's still around, on the one hand, that's fine. If this was 2 years ago, maybe it could have been a better sell, honestly speaking, because there would have been a longer period of this generation if we're going by a 10-year cycle. But then again, and the CD drive. The CD drive not being on the base model is still weird. Like even if I can, like the base, it becomes like you start nitpicking on things that you feel should be part of the price point that was in the original packaging. So you had a CD drive in the original PS5, and you had a stand that has on the original CD drive, and you have to buy that separately. So you're already going up to another £100 potentially, depending on how much those things cost. The game prices are going up, and average wages are certainly not. So I can't imagine most people would be even remotely interested. If I didn't have one already, I'd go for the Slim instead. Yeah, that's fair. Especially as the Slim model is more form factored towards things. It's a nice enhancement, but as someone who's had this console since day one, I'm still more than happy with it, and I don't see this is enough of a value to that price. And I say that as an enthusiast. I would say, so I'm going at it from a practical standpoint, because I'm enthusiast as in like I'm a gamer, but I'm not someone who goes around buying technology and buying all the new stuff all the time. Like I haven't got a VR headset. I haven't personally got the PSVR headset or some of the knickknacks that you can get to enhance your experiences of your PS5. From a family standpoint, it's a hard sell. If it's a new house and loads of things and they want to have an entertainment room, great. It would actually make for a great setup because it complements what you already have. But the circle I'm dealing with is I don't know if the 8K one is a big one, I think. I'm not sure how much of that is going to be seen. And I don't know how many TVs we're going to see are at an 8K level. I know we're starting to see it, but it's still at too high of a price point for it to be more common for monitors. Because I'm trying to think of... I'm trying to think, is it for the hardcore gamer set that would want all the performances under the sun? Or is it for enthusiasts, as in they want all the fluff that comes under the sun? Like all of the bells and whistles. I've got such a big TV and I just need something to show it off. So I bought a PS5 Pro. It's like how the PS3 was initially came out, you know? For reference, I can find a PS5 Slim, also digital only, for 390 on Argos. You can get a 2 terabyte SSD for £100. This is a solid state drive, I'm assuming. The Pro is £200 extra. Would you say these enhancements are worth it? Not including the disk drive for either, which is another extra 100. Also, the fact of showing the actual graphics side by side, there isn't really much of a difference. Gone are the days of the Mega Drive to suddenly, holy shit, the characters are in 3D. True. I feel like it's meant to be about smoothness. £700 for PS5 Pro is trending on Twitter. Yeah, we're gonna go on this for a little bit, but my circle I'm dealing with is the price point doesn't feel like it's catching. It is catching the imagination that I think are when with the PS5 Pro and the PS4. Sorry, when the PS4 and the PS4 Pro came out. I don't think Faz when Sonic could move 360 degrees. Come on, they've been able to do that since 1997. I think he had 360 degree movement. Jeez, the Sega Saturn was a thing. Sorry, 3D was a thing. Okay, Amadeus. God damn it, man. But yeah, I'm of the mindset that this is a hard even for enthusiasts. I don't know if it's an ask, if it's something that they would see straight away and be like, I need to get it day one. Because either the PC can already do all of that stuff, or at least we have tax included in the UK price. Oh yeah, is that true? Is that not included with the I'm sure it's in the European price. Has to be in the European price, right? And I'm guessing that might be per country part of the EU, but I think the only one that's not included would probably end up being the US price, right? The US one would probably be the only one that doesn't have like tax included. Poor USA. I don't know if it's EU. That might be per. I think EU will be generally speaking the same. Looking at the PS4 Pro, they introduced a slim model at a lower price, whereas the slim PS5 is the same as the original. Yeah. Okay, so let's try and shut down the point a little. From an enthusiast, I don't know if I'm not the enthusiast that this would be talking about, so I will be probably going around in circles a little bit. But if we're going by enthusiast, by someone who is a PS5 enthusiast, probably will buy it because of the legacy of what the PlayStation brings. Fair, I guess. Power to you if that's what you want. If we go one step below and say it's a person who really wants to get the best of that performance, I think it would take a lot of determining factors whether they should buy it. As in, like, this isn't an easy upgrade. I think this might be too much out of the range, especially as the digital is 349. We're going by the cheapest range to the maximum range. We're going from 350 to 400 pounds more effectively. If I've done 350 to 350, sorry, another 350 quid to go that high up. So that's one, because there's still going to be initiatives like upgrade your PS5 to PS5 Pro, put it towards it, whatever. So that's two. Maybe that might be a good setup if they're on a digital console only. Maybe that might work. If it's a digital console only, they're on from 350 and they think that their PS5 is not doing enough. Maybe that might be enough. Actually, that might be the strongest ask so far. If it's a digital, someone bought a digital £350 PS5 and then they want to have an upgrade from that, maybe getting the PS5 Pro might be worth it. Because they're going from a digital console to another digital console, a high-end digital console. Fair. If we're going from one step below that, if you're going from a disc console to a discless console, I think that's going to be the hard ask. Because at that point, you're losing an ability for the sake of performance. And given how I feel about, this is my personal opinions on memory, I don't know if a person who wanted physical games to get a PS5, to get this PS5 Pro, they would have to relinquish the ability of having physical games. So in other words, they'd have to buy more to get involved, because then they have to attach that back on and play their regular games. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to work as easy. So far, I would find that the most logical people, I say most logical, but if I was going to sell this and I was going from a sales standpoint, the most logical people I would try to sell this to, if it was going to be anybody, would be anyone who goes from the digital console going to the digital Pro. Don't buy the PS5 Pro. Buy 15 copies of Final Fantasy 16 instead, releasing on Steam and Epic Games Store in 1 week. Looking at the PS5 Pro, they introduced. Yeah, I feel like if you're going to upgrade from the PS5, it's probably looking at the PS5. That disc. I think that disc is a bit of a shock. How would you sell this to a 12-year-old Timmy walking into your shop? First things first, I probably wouldn't sell it to 12-year-old Timmy. Is that 12-year-old KSI? Because that's the sort of money you're kind of dealing with if you're going to just go walk around and say, I want a £700 console. No, I wouldn't sell it to them. The thing with digital consoles as well, whenever I'm having to sell the Xbox Series S and any digital version of a console, is the idea of space. How much space do they save by not having the physical games in the first place? If that's what they want to do, fair. But they bloody hell, looking close to 1,600 with taxes in New Zealand. Jesus! Oh God! Sorry, Jeebus. Not Jeebus. Not Jesus. Sorry, Jesus. Anyway, $1,600. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. With that CD drive needs to be in there. It's weird. It's weird that the CD drive isn't in there, especially as Love the Gamers joined. I never heard of them. Give me a second. I'll click on the link soon. Yeah, so far it's just weird. Why release a digital console where all of the benefits, 90% of the benefits, are on an existing library? Yeah, this just seems weird. I think that's the biggest hard sell. Like, I think that's what makes this so jarring. Kingdom Hearts YouTuber who've been branching out a bit more recently. Okay. As long as it's not a Rick Roll.
Wait, where's the disc? Where's the disc drive? $700 US? Where's the disc drive? Where's the disc? Where's the... You are... No. 700... Wait, hold on a minute.
See, I feel like I should be having this reaction, but I already seen all this.
That's not even with, like, taxes added on either. Oh my god. Oh my god. So let's just round this to, like, 1,250. 1,300. Add that on top. That's like $1,500 for a fucking piece of plastic. Out of here! What, so I can see Cloud Strife's nipples a little bit clearer? Wait, where's the disc? Where's the disc?
Yeah, that disk drive is the main one. The silence with the hands. Silence of the hands. Yeah, so I feel like the disk drive is the biggest thing right now. I was like, I feel like there's a lot of this would just be fixed if the goddamn CD drive was in there. And then they did a digital model that was £100 cheaper. Because then that whole thing becomes it makes so much more sense. Why is there no CD drive? That's just it. Like every positive at that point, even if I don't consider like this price point, every positive is enhanced by having the existing library to benefit from it. So most people, when the PS5 was first brought out, there was a digital version and a physical one. This does not consider digital physical users at all. So why are you punishing him? It feels like this is a punishment for being a fan, and I can't I can't justify it. Like it's hard to justify from going from the 450 or 480 price point to the 700 price point when you're trying to upsell from the PS5 to PS5 Pro. Thanks for the money. Here's your free Get Punch. Yeah, always back physical media wherever possible. Yeah, well, we don't swear here. We don't swear here. I didn't swear. But yeah, everything else is just, it's a hearsay. And like I said, it's like Ibs already said, it's mainly for enthusiasts, and PlayStation know they're gonna buy it. But I feel like if it's a case of, because someone's gonna ask me, is it worth it? And the answer right now is depends on who you are, and that's always the case with every console you buy. But you're muddying the water a little bit by not, well, if you like physical games, if you've got the PS5 already and you want to upgrade, you want to get the best performance you want, you should definitely get the PS5 Pro. Just remember, you got to buy a CD drive so you can play your existing games. Do you understand? Like how that was, like, keep it simple. Forget all the performance stuff. Forget all the pro stuff. Forget everything else. Just keep it simple and say, right, if I'm going to tell you, right, you're going to get this, you want to get the best opportunity, great, go get the PS4 5 Pro. Cool, get it. Just remember that if you've got a physical library, you need to get a CD drive. And that automatically would put off 80% of people, I think. Because it's not a different hard drive. It's not a different hard drive from the regular PS5. So it doesn't make any sense to me why the PS5 Pro doesn't have a CD drive. Because after that, once the CD drive is in there, there's a choice. You can choose to whether you have digital or physical only. You can choose all of these things. But this is weird. Nothing about this feels right. Forget, that's not even including the weird stand thing, but let's be fair, that's like a smaller problem. That's a smaller problem to have with the stand. The fact that this thing doesn't have a CD drive is weird. It's a very difficult sell. All Nintendo needs to do is have backwards compatibility, a cartridge slot, and be cheaper. Yeah, thanks for putting yourself in debt. By the way, our gaming subscription, buy our subscription every month just to play online. Yeah, there's that too. At least this is where Game Pass should probably surge. £400 for a Switch with backwards compatibility, they win. Yeah, it's pay extra for the stand that gets me. See, I don't think that should be, like, let's be fair, yeah. Let's say that CD drive was in there. I would feel like the standee would be like, as you do, Oh, PlayStation, you kind of like that. But this one, I think a lot of this, which is with premium console, but we can't give you the stand. That is true. When you think of it like that, jeez, that's actually terrible. That's not a good setup. I'm sorry. That's a difficult one. Like, I don't want to be overly negative. I really don't. I don't want to talk too harshly about something I'm probably not going to buy and it's not for me specifically. But if I'm going to tell people about this. This could very easily become the Kinect situation I feel like if they don't bring in a version that will just be with the CD drive. I feel like in a year's time, there's going to be a pro version with the CD drive and everything will kind of be fine. For fuck's sake, even with the Wii U came with the stand. How much even is the stand again? Like £20 to £30? Yeah. Like, surely they could have included that at least. Yeah, a lot of this feels more like it's just weird. That's the only thing. It's like, it's just weird. I can't re-emphasize this enough. It's that it just feels weird. I can't. It's just gonna be really like, this is weird. That's basically it. This whole thing just ends up being, it's like, this is just weird. Because improves resolution on select PS4 titles. Most people have bought physically, not part of the PS4. Not part of the Games for Gold version of the PS Plus subscription. 8,500 compatible gamers. You're saying to me that everyone has can only play this digitally? Buy a cheap cake stand, lay it on there, save money. I mean, that's true. That works. It can even spin if you have the ability to. It's humbling to see how creators have embraced the latest technology from PS5 Pro. I think the technology part is true. I think this bit is legitimately true because I think all of the expanded GPU performance, the AI machine learning, and the VRR is actually really good. But I think this has got it. It reads like, look how many look how many game creators have supported the whole PS5 Pro project, and I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like they've supported the technology that they've introduced, which is great, but may not be the whole thing with the entire package. Ooh, my sister's DJ Hero turntable will finally have a use. Wow. Jeez. I feel like without the disc price is just way crazier than it would be. It was just included. Still a lot, but would be a bit more justified price wise. Yeah. Because it doesn't take away the idea. I love DJ Hero. Bring it back. I have only ever played DJ Hero once and I didn't get it, but you know, one day I will be as cool as the DJ Heroes in my chat. That is Rayna and Mongoose. Legit, they are cooler than me, so go follow them. Enhanced label within their title. It's just this feels like you wouldn't see this on existing platforms, so this is definitely an online thing. FA3, it's not a thing. What? There's not to get. What's there's not to get you? Stop it. You are cool. But yeah, going back to point, it's the disc. It's the disc that is throwing me off severely. I could kind of justify explaining this to somebody who would want to go an upgrade. Like they need convincing for the upgrade, but I don't think this is enough without the CD drive. That's just more. It's not. It may change. Maybe. Let's be fair. They'll create software that will introduce a new system and will make things more positive. And I'm trying to do my best to be positive about it. I don't want to see complete negatives about it. But yeah, this is. I think they just need to add the CD drive back in, and I hope they don't wait too long making it because I feel like I don't think it'll be a huge ask. I think personally they should just make the disc price 700 and make the discless one 650. Maybe 600 would make most sense because then it justifies the price. At least it justifies the upgrading aspects. Someone did it before, right? I don't think most people will use this as an upgrade and is more likely to attract a new audience that care about the pro features. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, enthusiasts will buy it anyway, so regardless of whether I am angry, happy, or sad about it, it's not for someone like me, and that's fine. My concern is somebody who comes into a store and then asks me, why is it worth upgrading? And the issue is that the justifications doesn't feel like it equates well enough. Now, I can sell it, let's be fair. I can sell it. I can convince a person if they were already planning on buying a Pro, it's fine. But for someone who might be going from a 4 to a Pro, from a 5 to a Pro, it will be hard to justify, especially if they're like that. They're in that middle ground of they want to get the Pro, but they don't find that many reasons for it, so they'll wait for a price cut. That's where I feel things are. Because then after that, if you're going towards £700, at some point, most people word of mouth wise will just say you might as well just buy a PC. Because buying all the PC parts, you could get half a decent PC around about £700. Because there's a mobile kit, more. It might require more upgrading, but over time you're spending far less. Whereas you're doing an upgrade in a console. And you gotta remember the games are gonna do it. Completely unrelated, but I did naughty and bought the PS3 DLC. Yay! Influencers unite. I'm glad. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you. Seriously. I hope you enjoy the DLC. But yeah, I've gone around in circles long enough. I don't think you need to hear me go on about it further. But yeah, the PS5 Pro, it's got some good ideas. It's got some good aspects, and I'm not the first person to justify whether the price point is correct. I just don't know if it's enough for, like, I can't justify the performance, should I say, for the Pro. There has to be new games that effectively really utilize it. And if it's meant to be double the power, then I want it to be able to, like, play 5 games at once, you know. But right now, and in this first initial feelings of it all, it's hard to see. And like what Ib said earlier, it's just a case of wait till the game comes out, wait till the whole thing comes out, wait till you actually see it in action, and then justify whether you're going to get it or not. But if we're saying for the people who are going to buy it on day one, what do you mean play them at once? Play them at once. You know, like how Xbox has this, but I don't think PlayStation does. Xbox has the ability to, you can quick start games, so you can switch between games at the same time. I don't know if it's 5 or is it 2. But you can switch between 2 games as they're running, and they'll just keep like a state ready for you. So it's got like a quick change, effectively. I expected something like that for something like this to take that sort of challenge on. And if it has to be native 4K, it's saying it's going all the way up to 8K, and it's like, I don't know how much of that's going to be justified, because we don't know how often we're going to see an 8K gameplay. Anyway, I have basically gone around in circles a few times here, so I will try to stop. I'll try to put the brakes on this. But yeah, I find your move, PlayStation. You've got a bit of a. I feel like you've got a bit of a grind to explain this a little bit, and hopefully you show off some gameplay soon. Maybe probably Tokyo Game Show seems to be the best spot for you. So please do show that off. Please show the differences between the PS5 and Pro Mode, because I think right now it's not looking consistent. I want to say the word. I want to use the word consistent. It's not looking consistent right now. So there's that, and I hope that everyone who does get a PS5 Pro, they enjoy it. Let's have something happier. I don't know what would be happier. What would be happier to you? PS5 Pro? Sorry, Switch Pro. Yeah. Okay, so there's that done. But yeah, I just want it to be